All right. Welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, day number 202. So, as you can see, today's setup is a little bit different. I had to get a light on, need a light in order to do work. And today, we're going to be, I'm going to see if I can actually get some work done, but also advertise at the same time. So, here you can see some beautiful microchips. Let me put that closer without dumping them everywhere. Put them this way. Let's change focus for a sec. Probably do even better than that, actually. Let's go as close as we can. And I'll just put that close. So it's hard to hold this. Oh, my hand is obscuring it. There we go. It's a good look. So yeah, that's the chip that we're working with today. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? John Smith says you should be wearing your assassin's outfit from yesterday while you code. I wouldn't be a very good assassin if I wore my assassin outfit all the time. Then people would know I'm an assassin. Looks nice, the chip. Yeah, so today, if you want to buy one, if you want to have one of your very own, including 4 other random chips, just check out the link that's up there at the top of the stream, shopify.robertelder.org. You can buy one. So today, the next, one of the next things I've been trying to get around to is I need to package up. I made a few sales of the 5 random silicon chips, and I'm actually out of sets of 5, so I need to package up a couple more. And why not do that live on live stream while I talk to chat? So I've got this thing here, which of all the tongs and stuff that I have, that's the best one for picking up the chips. I got some labels here, so my value add is to put them in these little pouches. So honestly, it'll be probably kind of a boring stream. Yep, you want to get some dime bags? Check out Shopify.robertl.org. It's the purest. It is literally the purest crystal that you can buy. What would those particular chips normally be for? So for, I have a video on 3 of the 5. So I think I've only packaged up in the pack I say it's random, but actually if you buy a pack, I have 3 videos. They're actually trending right now. If you look at the 3 favorite microchip ones where I've got it on my finger, and I'm like looking at it at the start of the series. So those videos explain in as much detail as I know what those chips are for. This one specifically, I haven't dug into it, but it's actually I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was something like an Ethernet controller or something like that. Yep, silicon. It's literally the purest crystals. Kind of hard to see my work here. Camera's also, I have to figure out how the camera is looking at this. Okay, there you go. But yeah, go check out those. The other one is the I can show it right here. The Siphon chip. So if you just search for Siphon, there's that one. I also need to make more packets of the other few. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's also a video on my channel of this one. The mask ROM. Oops. My camera gonna fall over? What am I looking at? You're looking at the process of, I'm going to take some of these microchips and package them up into my bags here, and then I'm selling them at shopify.robertelder.org. So you can buy some if you want. Rick Brown, James says cool. Why send them in random bundles? You mean like, why don't I sell them individually? I could. I guess if there was, if people wanted that product offering, if people demanded that, then I would. I think for simplicity, because I don't know exactly how many chips I'm going to have. I mean, I've only sold like a few packets, but I've never really advertised them before. But I think it makes a bit more sense to like say like I'll grab like whatever I have. Otherwise I have to like track inventory and stuff. Does it boost the channels showing up in YouTube streams if you comment on a person's live stream? I'm not sure. It's kind of a mystery what actually counts. I assume probably the thing that really counts most is like, it's probably a much more higher order thing. Like if you actually, like if you regularly join the live streams and then have high retention on it and like it, and then there's probably also like, I would imagine probably like there's certain people that always like a live stream or content when they like everything, and so my guess is that those person's likes are probably worth less than if someone like never likes anything, and then if you just randomly like stuff. But it's all a mystery. I thought you were trying to tap into the Labubu market with super rare chips. I don't know. I don't understand that statement. I think view time counts the most. Yeah, probably, and it's probably not only view time, but like also like do you actually come back? Labuses are collectible plush toys that are sold in mystery boxes. Interesting. Yeah, never heard of those. Maybe I could make the same kind of thing for chips. Beanie Baby of the day? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to do something like that. You never know which one you get. Yeah, you can buy my package of chips. You never know which one you'll get, even though technically you're most likely to get this one. Let them cook. Just found your channel moments ago by watching your how to make CPU vid. You sir are amazing. Thank you. Yeah, if you liked that video, I have a video. I actually don't have a video on this chip here, but I have a video on. Actually, I have a playlist called "How to Make a CPU." I also have a video on this chip. So if you search for Siphon, then you can watch that video, and I've a couple others like it. '70s had Pet Rocks, Cabbage Patch Dolls, Beanie Babies, and 2020's Labubu. That's interesting. I've literally never heard of that. I'm so upset. I bought 2-for-1 deal with Uber Eats. Forgot to click the apply deal. That's the worst. Robert Elder will sell mystery boxes with Soviet surplus CPUs. Those are in shorter supply. It's hard to... I'll have to charge lots for those. Too shy to explain to Uber? Can you use it again in the future? What are the baggies for? The baggies are for ETOM's Electronics Corp microcontrollers, which are, I have a bunch here. I'm going to package them up in some bags. And if you want to buy some, you can check out shopify.robertelder.org. Thank you. Already shared the other vid with friends. Nice. Thank you. So you forgot to apply. Forgot to click apply deal, but is it gone forever, or can you like use it next time? Because if you can use it next time, then you could let it go. But if it's a one time, I'm not sure how Uber Eats works, but if it's only here for today, deal anyone can get. Limited time. Okay. Too shy to explain to Uber. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have to explain to Uber or the person? I don't know. I've never used Uber Eats. Maybe someone else who has experience with Uber Eats can advise you how to make CPU. Oh, that's easy. First you get a rock, then you smash the rock. Now you got 98% concentrated silicon dioxide. Then you got to purify it to 99.99999% silicon dioxide. Labubu's are popularly hung on the back of backpacks. So you may have seen one and not known it. Are those I've seen in GameStop had those things. They were like Funko Pops. Is that the same thing? Or are they related or similar? Good, they have a customer service line. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. If you want to be bold, move fast and break things, you can call them up and demand, I command you to apply my discount. You have Shopify? How Canadian of you? Yeah, I went with Shopify because there's an option to integrate with Google. You can get like links that show up under your videos, theoretically. And I had that for a couple days, and then Google disabled my merchant account. Because the way it works is you set up a Shopify account. Shopify syncs the products to Google Merchant Center, and then Google Merchant Center will display those as YouTube ads under your videos. How to make a graphics card? Oh, it's the same thing. Maybe you just need it a little bit more, but get some aluminum. Actually, Cody's Lab has a good video on if you want to make some aluminum by yourself. You just got to get some mud. Shocked you hasn't banned them due to Chinese security concerns. Oh, these little toys? Are they like... I figured they were just a solid state thing, but... All hail King Elder. Thank you, disciple. Funko Pops don't really have the random element of Labubu. Interesting. You said security concerns. Are they? Do they have like chips in them and stuff? No security concerns, just poor life decisions. Well, it sounds like they're mostly for kids. Every generation has a thing that kids get into and they buy a bunch of. I have a friend who collects Funko Pops under the guise of investing, selling for a profit, but it's a $20 profit here or there. Everyone bots the rare stuff to nab them. Yeah, the real winners on that are like the people who create those whole schemes. honestly, it's kind of an impressive feat. Like, think about how many people are trying to create the next big, like, teen craze and stuff. Like, there's been so many of those, like those little, like, skateboards kids have. Those were, they probably still have those, but those were, like, kind of difficult thing to get. And what was it, like, Beyblades, Pogs? Think about how many millions you can make if you successfully build and market the next big thing. Reminds me of when I used to buy cannabis in dime bags. Well, now you can buy semiconductors. You can watch videos about them. Yeah, adults try to get into it and capitalize on it to, like, make money, but I think at a time, there was a time when you kind of could, if you're good at, like, scalping and sniping up. Like, if you had deals with the vendors and stuff. But it's a very hard fought battle to make a very small amount of money. If you can't compete, you must delete or ban them. Well, I don't know. It's pretty extreme. It's going to be difficult to do. Like, you can't compete with Nintendo for Pokemon cards or Pogs or Goosebump books. I have Pogs that I've given to my children. They had no idea what the draw was. Yeah, it's all about the social thing. It's like, do your friends have it? And then once nobody else has it, it's like dumb. Pokemon cards have gotten insane. I feel bad for the kids nowadays. They're getting priced out of their own game. It's kind of impressive and surprising that they still sell. Like showing off your collection of silicon. Yep. King Elder Slagan processor dies. Like your neighborhood dope man opens his trench coat. Yep. Yeah, maybe we should visit the Waterloo campus and start selling them. Okay, oh, I'm going to miss that one. Missed that chat. Remember Pog's Pokemon cards? Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Maybe Robert can come up with his own Beanie Baby knockoff. No, I'm gonna stick with what I know. Microchips and software themed things. I learned about how bad the market was when I read signs at Target saying they were no longer selling any trading cards. Right after COVID around 2021. It's like since I've gone back on that policy. That's interesting. I actually visited I actually bought some like Pokemon and like just various card types because I was actually thinking about like prototyping. Actually, at one point I was thinking about like making my own kind of trading card game, just a prototype. I bought a few at a card shop, and he said that around COVID he did incredible business because everyone was indoors and had nothing to do, so they just collected stuff. I'd buy a Robert Elder troll face or red hat gentleman pose Funko Pop. Make it happen. I could sell some prints maybe. They still sell Tamagotchis. Yeah, don't they have like a new and improved one or something? Still waiting on Robert Elder's transistor wafer medallion. It could happen. Don't you have a fancy microscope? I have a couple of microscopes. I bought actually when I first started, I didn't even know what kind of microscope I would need. I have a stereo microscope and a biological microscope, but in the end I found for actually doing like getting dye shots and stuff, it's better to not use either of them. It's actually quite challenging to take photographs and video of chips up close. You need really good lighting, and the lighting angles are hard, and you need the right objectives. And also, vibrations are a big problem if you're trying to take like a video of it rotating or something. In order to, like an actual professional microscope for doing chip analysis is a metallurgical microscope, because for them they have a beam splitter that'll shine the light down through the objective so you can look at a flat surface, whereas a biological microscope shines the light from the bottom up, and if the thing you're taking a picture of is not like mostly transparent, like cells, if you shine a light through a small cell, the light just goes right through it, and which is what you want, because that'll illuminate all the details and stuff and give you some. And then if you have like phase contrast stuff, you can buy phase contrast objectives, and none of that is relevant for semiconductor analysis. Because if you put a chip on it, we'll see darkness. We share haircut. Nice. That means you're just as fashionable as I am. Onion says IDK might be helpful. What might be helpful? Be interesting if you could live stream the process of setting up for semiconductor shoot. Yeah, I guess. Well, in a way, that would probably be more interesting as a video. But yeah, I could do that as a thing. Although whether it's worth the time, I prefer to try and like find things that I could do that are actually like meaningful work. Actually, maybe I could probably. I could do a couple of short videos on. Like, there's 2 of these dies that I don't have shots of, so I could actually set up for it and then actually take the recording. Although yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. What are we doing today? I'll stream. Went to sleep early. Today, I am packaging up some semiconductors. So I'm, if you visit shopify.robertelder.org, you can see my where I'm selling packages of 5 random silicon dies. And I'm out of this specific one, so I'm going to repackage some up. Hello, camera stream. Lots of pretty colors. It's a fascinating topic. Please enter your how to make a CPU video. Yeah, I guess it would probably, like, that's actually why I figured it makes sense to do this stream, because right now my how to make a CPU video is trending, and I think based on what I see, I think a lot of the people coming in to the stream are like completely new random people from that video, so it makes sense to be live streaming something that is actually relevant with that in order to capture that audience. Otherwise, there'll be a much higher bounce rate probably. There's a YT video where a guy put a polarized film in the lens. Made it easier to read IDs on chips. Made it where you didn't have to tilt the board a bunch. Oh, YT chat censored the previous message. Yeah, I think actually, was it EEV blog? He has a video on that topic. Oops, sorry. That's the disadvantage of trying to work and reach around your microphone. All work is meaningful if it has meaning to you, at least to someone else. Otherwise, if only meaning. Well, the most meaningful part of work is it has to lead to producing money. And since this activity is, I haven't sold a lot of these, but I've sold like my initial few prototypes of these, so I will. It makes sense to just package up a few more, and because I think I only have like one or two more of these ETOMS ones, so now I'll be good for like if I get like 100 orders or something. How I filmed how to make a CPU. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I do have bits of that in my rotation stage video. I was actually thinking about there probably would be like some interest in like a photography of silicon wafers, because that's honestly there is a lot to say about like techniques for photographing that stuff, which might even like help people who just want to do photography. Because the process of the way light behaves when you start getting like right down to optical limits is quite different. It's not as intuitive as when you're taking photos of macroscopic stuff. I was watching Elder Shorts before. He was cool. Nice. You should walk around more often as your neighborhood looks enticing. I think you'll get more viewers doing that. Yeah, I could. I like. I kind of need a break, and winter's going to be here soon. So what I'm thinking I might just try like a random live stream, kind of like what I'm doing tonight. And maybe, I don't know, I don't have plans yet, but I may alternate. I may do like go for a walk in a random direction. I think it'd also just be kind of nice to have like an archive of like what things look like in a particular direction. Do you see how to make a CPU video trended on social? I added you. Oh, on you added me on which platform? On Twitter? The how to make a CPU video gets so many views that I've actually Googled it a few times. It's been stolen so many times on so many different platforms. When it first went viral, the first like viral phase was in China, like almost after I released it. It got more views in China than it did in the Western world. And then it also got quite a few views in Japan. And it took 2.5 years or so for it to trend in North America. You should sell DVDs of your game and source an artwork and sign it. I could. I don't know if I had like like I already have the store set up, and then the volume of sales I get from those things, which like I already know those products sell because like of the regular expression stickers and stuff. Those I've already sold a few thousand on other platforms, but selling through my own store is I just don't get sales. How much does it cost to host the Shopify store? The trial version is like, they say it's like $1 a month or something for the first couple of months, but then it goes to, I think, $40 a month, which initially I did get a decent number of sales, but I think if I cannot get the Google Merchant Center thing approved, then it might not even be economic to keep it active at all because the number of sales is just very low. Okay, now is the hard part. I got all my dime bags created. Now I gotta put some stuff in there, put some chips in them. Are you into super low level programming like Verilog or gate analysis? I think the intersection between SE and E is fascinating. It is fascinating. I did like one VHDL project in undergrad, but I've never done anything else outside of that. It's one of those things that's been on my to-do list to try and do some FPGA programming, but I've never had a reason to. Yoshi Dragon says hello. How's it going? On Twitter? Yeah, actually it went the last time it was trending, someone like stole the video and like just ripped it off, or like they didn't put any attribution on it, but they just like re-uploaded it to Twitter, and then that one went very that one got 1 million views. I think it was at least 1 million views on Twitter, and then Elon Musk commented on it, so Elon Musk has seen my video too. All right, TBDs of game and source. 8-bit guy did that. I think with his 8-bit game, wrote it in assembly or Commodore, MS-DOS. Did very well. Yeah, it's all the strategy to making money is just like capturing the wave of interest, which is one of the reasons why I spent a bit more time working on the Shopify store today to see if I can finally get that stupid thing, that misrepresentation error, fixed. SE and E was compy at my college. Does the marketing really work first before the sales? So I figured people get tired of ads. Well, to generate a sale, you have to have a customer to sell to. And like if you have no audience and no traffic on anything, and you make a site or post something, like if you just sign up to Twitter with no followers and say, hey, buy my stuff, you post a link to your page, then you just get no sales. So the process of well, actually you can, on that topic, if you watch my video, I think it's my latest video on marketing, I talk a bit about that. Anyone see the Northern Lights tonight? Oh yeah, I should have looked for that. I heard we have some like unprecedented amount of like geospatial activity or something. Okay, now I need to think about actually, let me just get a piece of paper. It's hard to move around in here with so many cameras and cables and lights and garbage. Let's see. Is there a way to track how many views from rip-off reposts? So I sometimes just like search for it and I can find some of the top ones. But what plugins in Vim do you use? I do not use any Vim plugins. The path in Python is CTV. It's actually quite easy now. Oh, okay. Robert, what brought me into your channel to begin with was your brutal honesty in the form of your self-analysis, deprecation, self-critique. Most people lie to themselves. Just lay it bare. Oh, thank you for the kind analysis. Are you a full-time YouTuber or do you do YouTube part-time? I guess it's kind of become full-time in the last year. So technically, I haven't explicitly ended my consulting engagements, but the last time he requested work was like a year ago, and I don't bother looking for more because last year YouTube became last year YouTube was the first year where it exceeded the consulting revenue, and if you've watched my other videos, you know why I've decided to not pursue that anymore. But I guess I'm also still trying to do other business activities. So I guess if you go to shopify.robertelder.org, you can see an example of stuff I'm trying to sell and other things that are not necessarily just pumping out videos. I've seen the video. I just know people can get tired of ads, but of course it would make sense if the ad doesn't capture one person, it captures the other person. Well, how do you know what's an ad or not? Because like this is an ad right now, but you can ask, are you tired of what's happening right now? Because right now I'm repeatedly reminding people that they can buy from my store. Are you packing unsold dies? Yeah, I'm putting them. I will be momentarily here once I catch up on chat. I used and I have my own config. Just want to know if there's something extra I can add. Yeah, personally, I have tried to train myself to use the default. Should edit and re-release the how to make CPU bin with watermark links. I've actually decided that my face is like the brand. Like I could put a name or something like that, but nobody cares what the name is. I think as long as people see that and they're like, hey, that's that person, then they and some people have link me to it because they can recognize it from that. And so I think it's I guess part of a growth model is if people steal your stuff, then it's still people still attribute it back to the source. About your stickers, yes, you did. Could go viral second time if you do it with a watermark. If someone re-uploads it on YouTube, I think it's I actually get notifications all the time for people steal it on YouTube, and they like put something on it, but it never goes viral on YouTube, and then any other platform, there's nothing really I can do. Is your goal to do more business consulting? It was, but I've since stopped pursuing that for reasons that I've discussed in other. If you search my channel for consulting. Modern marketing makes life an ad. That's true. I would call this an honest ad. Yeah, it's I mean, the whole process of getting people to buy things is you have to like when you say ad, people think about like insurance ads or like those stupid, goofy phone provider ads, mobile phone service ads and stuff. But modern advertising, you have to put out something that people actually want to see. Because it used to be like when TV was a novelty, when nobody had a television, you could have like really, really bad, annoying ads and people would watch it because there was literally nothing else to watch. Okay, let's try and take out a subset of these chips. This one that's stuck. Oh, it's not coming out. Hello, me bug fan. Me bug fan. Me big fan. Well, thank you. Truman Show ad. What do these chips do? I think these ones, I haven't dug into this chip yet, but I think it's like an Ethernet controller or something. Now I try to put these things in so that the die is facing up. There you go. There's one packaged. Oh, it's backwards. That's the opposite thing I wanted to do. See, it's that's the bottom of the die. You can't actually see the pattern on the chip. It's just flat. I need glasses, but I don't want to wear them. All right, that one's done. Do you think you will be selling in VR in a decade? Or keep doing stuff like this? Seems like the next media wave. Yeah, I think the future is strange, and I think it's not possible to opt out of it. So it is possible. Like I might have to be in a VR chat in some stupid costume, be in like some kind of like a VTuber or something like that. Wouldn't it be crazy if that's just like in the future that every successful business is like a VTuber, and then there's a whole group of businesses that are like, this is ridiculous. This is not going to last. I'm going to be old-fashioned, and then they all just go out of business. So everyone is just forced to be a VTuber. I've used a number of IDs over the years. If embedded, I'm using Code Warrior usually. I'm trying to branch to Microsoft Visual Code or whatever, but just give me Vim and a term. Yeah, Vim is what I always end up falling back to. VR already here. It's been here for a while, but I don't know. As it becomes increasingly impossible to buy a house, that may push more people into the virtual world. So you have to buy virtual real estate because you can't own physical real estate. Agree with you on glasses. Let's get LASIK. I actually went to an eye doctor, and I asked about LASIK because there was a time in my life where I had the money for it, and I thought, like, I should, if I'm going to get this, I should get it early. And I went to her, and she looked at my eyes and said, like, you're not really a candidate for it, because I have a lazy eye, and one of my eyes is much better than the other. I can still see with both of them, but if I lose the good one, and they also, I also read a lot about like issues with nighttime vision, and there's complications and stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'll just not bother. I tried. Maybe you can blend streams like this with coding your game, make the live stream more into a show with form. Yeah, I think what YouTube has said. Like the creator guides they've said are everything's more about like how does when you make videos, the videos have to fit into like a larger narrative or something, which kind of makes sense, because if you watch particular it's like watching a personality more so than just watching like if everything is, I think that's especially going to be true with AI, because when everything is just, there's 100 trillion AI powered video essays per day, what are people going to want to watch? They're probably going to want to watch like humans instead of just AI slop. Future is curious. I've had the same thought about being a VTuber. The new generation will have no jobs taken by automation. It will become more of a service industry. Yeah, being a VTuber, I really don't want to be a VTuber, but you have to do what actually works. And it could be the case that that just ends up becoming, like, nobody wants to work for a living, but it could be that the jobs that just like if it's the most efficient way to sell stuff, sell coffee or whatever, then Starbucks is going to have a VTuber salesperson. And what's up, guys? Not too much, just packaging some semiconductors. VR space program is kind of cool. Crazy at first. I wore prescriptions for a while, but then quit. Yeah, I have contacts, but I also don't like wearing them, so I just stopped. On LASIK, there are newer methods now aren't as fragile. Problem with LASIK is you can undo all of it with pressure of the eye. Weightlifting. I didn't know that. As soon as I hear those AI narration voices, I turn the video off. Eventually, you won't be able to tell the difference. WSP, what is something? What's popping? I don't know what that acronym stands for. I'm subbed. Excellent. Everyone remembers their first time in VR. I've never done VR. Okay, let's package more chips. Let's see, maybe I can get a better close-up. Okay, that actually helps. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. It's like having a microscope. That went upside down. Oh, it's still upside down. Is this that channel that tricked rocks into thinking? Yes. If you want, you can buy some thinking rocks at shopify.robertelder.org. There's a lot of chats there. Oh. I'll just let people chat away. Skip over those. What are you using the microcontrollers for? These are, you can buy them at shopify.robertelder.org. How many of Robert's shipments get flagged? I've never had one flagged. I would assume they I don't think there's anything really well, I don't know how exactly a lot of the scanners work, but they probably look for like a specific type of chemical substance. CPUs is best, Penrock. That's true. Elder has a good group of folks chatting here. Yes, I haven't, I'm not reading all those chats, but it seems like a productive, engaged discussion. I'd be learning superposition. Neat. How much for one? For 5, it's I think it's $30. I have shipping included. They flagged the wrong stuff. I think if stuff they suspected. I mean, you're gonna go on YouTube and see videos of what happens when they flag it. They'll like test a sample, and then if it's got something bad, then they don't let it through. They have like chemical sniffers and stuff. There's various reasons why packages can be held. Sometimes it's like the customs form is not proper. Why anti-cheat? Hate Linux? I guess probably because it's easier to cheat in Linux. Because you have access to your computer. My idea is hacking MMO. That'll be interesting. That'd be a lot of work to implement. Anyone see Steam's new hardware? I think I saw a title that they released some hardware. I haven't looked into it yet. Plot twist. Robert is shipping out illicit items, but uses these live streams of him packaging as plausible deniability. That wouldn't really make sense though, because he could just open one package and then see that it wasn't. I mean, in the future, CPUs might be an illicit substance in the future. The government will ban them. Can't have a CPU without a license. You'll get arrested for unauthorized computation. You're not allowed to add certain types of numbers together. In the U.S., computation laws would cause civil war. I don't know, not if they slowly boil the frog. What's happening here? I am packaging up some of my microchips that I'm selling in my online Shopify store at shopify.robertelder.org. You can buy a random assortment of 5 different chips. That are nicely packaged so you can look at them. What's the best tech to hide if they ban all tech unless the government approves it? The best tech to hide? I don't know. Tech encompasses a lot of stuff. I'd say matches. If the government makes fire illegal, then we're in trouble. Government is packaging piece of ICBM tech. That's a false accusation. How do you integrate those into a mobile? I assume it needs some kind of housing. Yeah, well, I guess the how to make a CPU video goes over it a bit, but you can. There's multiple ways you could package chips like these. So I guess you can't really see on this scale, but if you look at some of the other videos I have of these, I have some close-ups where you can see the around the edges of the square, there's bond points. So you have to get like a tiny piece of metal to bond to those, and then those correspond to a pin. So you can look up if you look up like service mount component packaging and like wire bonding and flip chip method. That's not the right way around. They're small. Nice to see change of content. Yeah, I figured it would make sense to just test out some new stuff. Also, my how to make a CPU video is trending, so I figured it makes sense to maybe stream some stuff that is related conceptually to the CPU video. What's the nanometer of those chips? That's a good question. These are from, I think these are from like the pre-2010 era, so it might be like 2001 to 2010 or so. So I think probably like, I guess you could look up like what kind of node, if you just like if you Google like what CPU node were they on in 2004 to 2010 or so. So I think it might be like 65 nanometer to like 30 something. I think that was in the range. Do you think light could be turning complete without any active elements? Just lenses and mirrors? That's a good question. So you can, it is possible, you can do Fourier transforms with lenses. If you go Google Fourier optics, so that's a pretty like non-obvious computation you can do with light. I guess for something to be Turing complete, you need to like store state. You need to have like a clock. So I guess if you have like a light clock or something. Yeah, I mean that probably is possible, but like, because if you just think about like a computer that uses electrical signals, like I'm pretty sure anything you can do, if you just think about what are the electrons doing in like a flip-flop or whatever, just map that to using light instead. Because like via the photoelectric effect, photons can knock electrons loose, but you'd need like external input to keep it going. I watched your video you created 4 years ago. It's possible to getting 240 FPS using OpenCV on Raspberry Pi. The thing I explored in that video was about the limits of what you could do. There's been newer cameras. I actually have not played around with that at all. I think the original project might not even work out of the box anymore. But there's newer cameras and stuff that you might be able to do some interesting things with. It's been on my to-do list to revisit that project, but I have not even thought about it. Lightweight Turing complete with just lenses and mirrors. So you have a whole rig just to connect these to something. Yeah. So if you search for wire bonding machine, that's if you want to use bonding wires. And if you don't want to use bonding wires, the alternative would be using the flip chip method, or just bonding it directly to the substrate. Picking those up is trying to grab their own credit card off a select counter. It is kind of challenging. It's doable. Also have to be careful. I don't want to scratch the surface of the chip. Then people will be mad. They'll want to get returns. Precise pinching. Yep. Thanks, no problem. Wire bonding looks crazy. It is kind of crazy when you think about it. Oh, is that upside down? Oh, it is. use chopsticks? Is that what professionals like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation? That's what they use. How much one of those machines costs? If you look at if you look on Sam Zeloof's channel, actually, if you go to my how to make a CPU video, the top pinned comment is Sam's channel, and if you go on his channel, he has a wire bonding machine, and he talked a bit about it. I think he said he got it off eBay, and I think he said he might have said it doesn't work or something, and he repaired it, but he got it for cheap. I can't remember now. Most likely, you could probably get an old wire bonding machine for like close to scrap value now. But it'll probably have like issues and be for like a really old. There'll probably be like issues, but Karate Kid 2060 remake. Danielson must snatch a surveillance fly drone from the air using chopsticks. That's your new movie idea, I guess. Robbie San. I don't know what that means. Is that some kind of anime thing? These cool looking chopsticks you'd see in Blade Runner. Sell the script to Hollywood. Tweezer stick? I don't know. That guy's content is sick. Yeah, he knows how to make a CPU. Wonder what happened to him. He started a semiconductor company called Atomic Semiconductor. time is it? 11:56. Oh wow, I'm going late. Alright, I still got a bunch more bags. Let's do another row. There we go, I got the one that was stuck. Show those types of videos explaining how to make basic CPUs to an alchemist from the 1700s. Essentially alchemy and black magic. Powered by demons. No, it's not demons. You just got to use photolithography to etch the patterns. If I could use them, I'd buy a bag. Yeah, I mean the sale. I don't actually expect anyone to use these. It's primarily just for like to look at. Never forget the Shopify. See, that's means my marketing, my ad worked. This is just a big long ad. Rocks, metals, exploiting obvious natural phenomena. Make a machine that thinks. Well, you could onboard people slowly with like just explain them once they understand basic circuits, like the idea of making stuff with clumps of wire and inductors and capacitors. It's not a huge leap to go from there. It's just the miniaturization you get, and the magic there is mainly just in the optics. So you just take a large image, and then a large image of your circuit, and you project down with lenses. So it can be literally the same thing as like. Everyone understands if you look at something small in a microscope, you'll see a big image in your eye. But the reverse is also true. If you have like a pattern, as long as your optics are set right and everything's aligned, if you have put like collimated light into it, you can project a pattern and then shrink a pattern back down, and it'll display out the other end. Imagine an alchemist wouldn't think it's alchemy. Yeah, it's not quite alchemy. yeah, I don't expect anyone would. It would be like quite challenging for someone to actually use these. And in some cases, like I may have actually scratched the surface of them a little bit. So like if I ripped off a tiny bond wire or something, like I might accidentally rip off a pad. And then, I mean, most of them should be pretty good. I'm trying to be careful. So like if someone wants to look at these under a microscope, they can actually do so. Alchemy was a bit of consciousness process. I don't know. I thought it was just about like trying to. It was like early chemistry, basically. Will you let us know how much this ad makes you? Sure. I expect probably no one will buy anything from this because the way, like I said in my most recent marketing video, or actually no, I think I said that in one of the ones that's not released yet. People don't buy things on the first impression. Did that flip over? Yeah, it did. So right now, a number of people are now aware of this product, and they won't buy it until they get reminded of it 5 more times. Because there's like some people are like, maybe I should actually buy one of these. But then they don't do it and they forget about it, and then they get reminded over and over again. Rez, the unfunny guy, says hi. How's it going? As for not a large leap at the time, they didn't have photolithography. Galileo, its successors, had shown a way. I guess right time, right circumstance. Alchemy is a consciousness process technology that transmutes manifests. I thought alchemy was just like the early attempts at chemistry. I don't know where consciousness would come into that. Alchemy is a conversion of a lesser matter to a more rare one. Really, it was indeed, as Rob said, early chemistry. Main goal was like common, lead into gold. I remember that being a goal, the holy grail of chemistry. Which is funny because we actually can do that now in nuclear reactors. And actually, if you look at Sabina Hassenfelder's YouTube channel, she had a video recently where she talked about, I think somewhere they were actually thinking about doing that commercially, because there's a commercially viable case for it somewhere, but the problem is the gold is going to be radioactive, so they have to like, I don't know, wait a little while or separate the isotopes or something, which is kind of nuts. I mean, actually, that'll be an interesting twist. Can you imagine if we start getting a problem where the entire world, where all of the gold gets contaminated with radioactive gold, because like some person in China steals a bunch of radioactive gold and then they sell it and then melt it down into and it spreads all over the world. I don't know what the isotopes are off the top of my head, if they're like, what the half-life is. Speak to an alchemist from the time they were trying to find unknown elements. They wanted to get rich. Would it be easier to lay with something more like a carpet, not too rough or fluffy? Would the fibers still get in the chips? I think this work, like having it lay flat, lets me pick it up pretty easily. If it was on like a fiber, I think it'd have a risk of like, I would kind of come under off angle and then it would twist around. And there would be fiber contamination and stuff. Oh, that just flipped over. Wonder how nanochips would be packaged. I do package something the size of an atom. Nanochips. For the most part, most chips are they're like macroscopic, like you can see them. Like this is a decently, like if you want to make a chips that are smaller, like usually when they talk about like nanometer scale stuff, that's the transistor features are like 2 nanometer wafers. 2 nanometer process node means 2 nanometers for a transistor, and at that scale you probably still have like billions of transistors. So the area of it, like this these chips here don't do much, but like a processor, for scale here, the wafer for like an Intel processor might be like just as big as this whole thing here, is this piece of paper. So these are just like a very special thing that it can maybe store like a few bits of memory. Like I don't know, maybe this can store like a couple megs or something. And it's probably only a couple layers of logic. It is kind of probably like, I don't know, 15 years old at least, but even so, the technology was pretty small then. Alchemy, informed chemistry, because on a low level, but on a high level, you can alter reality, not using heavy massive particles. I don't know. That's a citation needed for me. That's what I say when I get a haircut. Just separate the isotopes a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure you get very good results from your barber from that. I actually stopped going to barbers because when they'd cut my hair, they would always cut it longer than I wanted. So then as soon as I get a haircut, I needed a haircut again. Then I just started like shaving it like it looks now. SNEHA says, hi, what's the stream about? This stream is about, so I have some microchips here, and I'm currently packaging them up into these packages here. There we go. Yeah, I'm putting these into here, and that's what the stream is about. Let it in gold, kind of like a metaphor that can get someone into alchemy. You do have to do nuclear fusion for that. Alchemy is a process in determining a goal, and then using physics of nature to make that goal happen. You can do that using particles that are less massive than protons. Which particles are those? I guess the options are, you got protons, I forget how massive neutrons are. You got electrons, you get your antimatter particles, and there's pions. Make a CPU right now. No balls. Well, to make a CPU part, that's easy, but no balls. What does that mean? That sounds hard. Once we can get away from splitting atoms, start putting them together, then we can start some real alchemy. We can kind of do that now. All right, we're getting toward the end of the batch. A lot more particles other than protons, like quarks. Wait, what are you making? I'm putting together these packages. So I'm just putting the individual dies, the chips, into packages. And I'm selling them on shopify.robertelder.org. If you want to buy some sample silicon dies, get a variety pack. I bet aliens will laugh at us because we can't fuse particles. We can. We have that Large Hadron Collider that does it for us. All the force carriers. I forget what those are. There's gluons. And then photons, I can't remember. Vector bosons. That sounds like the right answer. I don't remember for sure though. The standard model is kind of crazy. It's not really fusing. You like actually put them together. Oh, you mean like delicately and gracefully? Yeah, that would be more impressive if we just had a machine, like one of those claw machines that you put money into, and you could just pick up an electron and move it around. See, is that right side up? Yes. I'll buy the Cinderite in block mining game. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, I'll get that added to the game promptly. I just finished a new release. I'm taking a break a bit from the block mining game. But it's, honestly, I want to get back to working on it, but I need to make some more money. What are we doing, chat? Just got here. Right now, we are packaging up some chips. So if you visit my Shopify store, you can buy a variety pack of some of these silicon dies. You get 5 random dies at shopify.robertelder.org. I read a couple of your old plain HTML blog posts. It's entertaining. Oh yeah, I put a lot of work into that blog. It's kind of amusing. There's quite a bit of work in those articles, but cumulatively the amount of like traffic that is that upside down? Yeah. The amount of traffic that YouTube has generated is like orders of magnitude more than from my blog. Leptons as well, electron being the most prescient example. And I guess if it's electrons, then probably also positrons. Once we have replicators, the world will have peace, hopefully. I don't know, the way it's going, like we have all this crazy advanced technology, but the way we seem to be treating people in everyday society is getting worse. Need a title screen for what you're doing, so you don't need to repeat yourself. Yeah, I guess, but maybe the mystery helps. Forces people to watch for a while. Once we can organize particles, we can help make replicators and have all the food we want. I mean, we already have enough food to feed everyone. but we have a lot of other problems like making it legal to build housing and stuff. Hello, Elder Software and team. How's everyone doing? I'm pretty good. Making some progress. Packaging up chips. We're getting close. Should build a city in the sky, like in the game BioShock. That would be expensive. Just finished the second sprint of a work project. Been contributing my personal hours. Oh, nice. We got a super chat. Thank you very much. Radioactive. Excellent. I was almost toward the end of the stream. Without that, I would have had no super chats all stream. And you said you also, if you also bought the Cinderite ore, thank you very much for that. I'll make sure you're added as a dedication in the block mining game. Oh, we got two in there. Upside down. Just finished the second sprint of a work project. Been contributing my personal hours toward earning myself a condescending talking to from my manager. Nice. That's the best reward for sacrificing. Get away from land ownership? Why? You should own land. That's one of the means of production. Don't need a citation to know that a boat rudder works. Sure, but it's I don't know. For my view, there's some details missing. Is it getting worse? I'm not sure what that refers to. Damn, YT really took 8.1 off that dono. Did it? So I think it's a 10 Australian dollars, which converts, I guess, to 9.19 Canadian. 81 cents. I think it's the conversion from Australian to Canadian. Now they will actually, YouTube takes 30%, so it will be more than that. And that'll translate to, I guess like $6 and something Canadian, or $7 Australian. Well, that's it. We got our collection of dies packaged up. I think I went over my usual stream time. In BioShock Infinite, the floating city of Columbia was made possible by the invention of quantum levitation technology, which allowed entire structures to remain suspended in the sky. We should invent some quantum levitation technology. Sounds like I need to play more of these games. Also add the 18 on top of that because of this Android. Yes, this was a profitable night. Yeah, so I guess this was, if people have asked what the model is behind these, so I did the live stream. The live stream was an advertisement, and then I also obtained $10 plus $18 in revenue over the course of a couple hours. So that's how the model works. It worked for tonight, but it doesn't always work. Maybe you should consider an RPC crypto server connected to an API which auto sells for fiat currency. You earn more out of that? Nope. Cryptocurrency is stupid, and it's all a scam, and I have no interest in crypto. All right, have a good night, guys. We'll be back with something tomorrow night for day 203. Later.